Good afternoon, Abbotsford residents. I'm here in beautiful British Columbia. I'm running for Commander-in-Chief. Today I'm going to bring you up to speed on Abbotsford residents and what's been taking place, the unfairness of a mob that seized our city and was in control of it, but also seized the institutions to fire and work in their benefits. I showed you many illegal operations under the Abbotsford APD thanks to the mayor's own son, Darren Braun, and he rubbed his hands how smart his dad was and who he was tied to. Let me make that clear. He was tied to the MP Ed Fast, the MP of the Conservatives, and you could see everybody distanced themselves, and he was tied to the MLA Michael DeJong. These institutions were running vicious act and harm, but the major instigator and player of it was the Abbotsford's police department. When people spoke up about this happening, the police department came out and beat you. Today, I stand as one as proud as Abbotsford's residents to represent my community of why I want a financial office in the city. I'm on the Mackenzie Bog, owned by Randy Dahl, the Dahl family, operating on ag land 100% illegal. No help from the city, no infractions, no nothing, because it was all tied to establishment, making millions of dollars in contaminating the wells and creeks here with iron, mercury that you can never get out of. No help from Bylaws, which is Magna. They had a meeting, and basically when they were leaving, Magna slammed the door as hard as she said, "Get out of here, I'll see you." No infractions, nothing. So let me make a statement. Way back when, on behalf of these residents, I went to the official MLA, Bruce Bamman, which was in for the official opposition, the BC Conservatives. He is the opposition and not elected to government. But who was the elected government was the Ag Minister, Pam, and the Ag Minister now that takes and allows this to happen. Not only that, the NDP was flying out to Ottawa with Brad Viss rather than helping residents. Abbotsford residents want me to stand forward as Commander-in-Chief and make this well known. This is the BC Conservative running Yuri. Yuri's running for the leadership. They want a pledge from him. They want a commitment under his government, not as the opposition, under his government. This will be taken out immediately and get fined and find out which bureaucrats were in here doing it. It's operating illegally under the Health Act. It's operating illegally under the Environment Act, but it's got approval by our shit-coward mayor, and it's caused harm to these residents. These residents are scared to stand forward and speak. Let me tell you, I will vouch for that. You saw when I stood up what Henry Brown did to Abbotsford residents with lifting jobs, how he used the Abbotsford police to threaten, drop lawsuits and videos, how he used the task force and everything. That is why I'm clear that the Abbotsford police have to be gone. This has to be and must be removed. So these residents want to make sure that on today's video that this man, Yuri, gets to see and wants a commitment from him that under his government, illegal acts and profit, oh man, you make millions of dollars off of this operation with no permits, and in full investigations of who was involved in it, and wants that commitment. Today I pledged to all these neighbors to do this video and said, under a BC Conservative leader like Yuri, this will be stopped because it's illegal. It's unfair to everybody that's got to make an honest living. But who took part in this was city councils, no help. And now we find Dave Lowens is calling quits because the rats got to flee and everybody else. No help, no dialogue, no sitting down. It is illegal. It is illegal, and illegal is illegal. The city should have went to the courts and got a restraining order and an injunction and paid maybe one of Henry's friends to take it off. But it was an establishment that was profiting off of this and poisoning it. I'm going to tell you this, when this bog started, I was front and center to fight for it. The pollution was so bad, the white smoke was going black, old seniors were gagging. But I want to make something clear. Off to the right of me lives Paul Walker of the Abbotsford Police, sitting there knowing this, that this is all illegal, knowing the harm what was being done. And he knew that as a politician, when I stood up to speak, We got to go run Mr. Pelican and get him out and get him, chase him with the Abbotsford police, because it's affecting their lavish house and everything else. Illegal is illegal, whether it's drug, whether it's harm to children, whether it's harm to our environment, whether it's harm to our water, it's illegal. And whoever was profiting off it and made millions of dollars, we need a commitment by this government, when he takes government, as your leader, as premier, that a commitment that this will be gone and he'll look after all the profit that he made at it. But not only that, the harm on these South Asians was unbelievable. And this man got to continue this. And let me just touch on Magna, the bylaw officer, and the city council and the city mayor. Last year they went after all the South Asians with their dump trucks on their farms. It's illegal. You're contaminating from the diesel leaking in the ground, and we're going to charge you environmental fees. And they belittled and bullied them South Asians, unbelievable, because it was based on racism and everything else on these farmers with one dump truck. And I want you to have a look at that. And this shit is still operating. That takes no brains to know immediately. A court order, seize it, and get big construction companies, and at his dime, cost it all. But we have to go after the leadership. That's Ross Siemens and councils, because they were friends of Randy Dawes. I'm live. Abbotsford, British Columbia, Yuri. They want a commitment, your voters do, that this, under your elected government and your leadership, will be front and center, and this won't be happening on ALR land illegal. I'm live. Abbotsford, British Columbia.